hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of What's the Word Eagle Alumni Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host Abby, and today we have a very special guest with us today. Today we are joined with Rosa, and Rosa, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah. Hi everybody. I am Rosa Sosa. Recently got married and my name just changed. And I'm an associate professor of cyber intelligence and security at Embry-Riddle in Prescott, Arizona. I am a recent faculty member, meaning I just joined Embry-Riddle last semester, so I am a new faculty around the block. So nice to meet you, everybody.
That's awesome. And did you graduate from Embry-Riddle Prescott campus as well?
I did. I am an alumni of the university from 2017 in the master's program for security and intelligence studies.
Oh, wow. And what was your favorite part about your time at Embry-Riddle as a student?
I want to say the support that I had from my advisors and my professors, and the opportunities, so many different opportunities that came across my time as a student, anywhere from internships to entry-level jobs to career opportunities. That's probably what made the university shine more than any other university in the country.
Right. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Embry-Riddle does have a lot of really great opportunities for their students.
Yeah, they do a phenomenal job. So even today, we continue following that path.
Yes, exactly. And now you said you work currently at Embry-Riddle. What do you teach there?
So I focus on cybersecurity, anywhere from introduction to cybersecurity to introduction to computer network, basically network protocols, network architectures. What else do I teach? I teach a graduate level course focused in security program management, so the policy and program aspect of cybersecurity and the regulations involved with government organizations such as NIST, such as ISO, and others. So I teach that, and I just started teaching capstone courses for cybersecurity students that are graduating. I lead and mentor their graduate or their upcoming final projects so that they can graduate from the program.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Kind of a good, well-rounded schedule you have for yourself. Do you have a favorite class that you like to teach so far that you've found?
I really enjoy all of them, but the networking one is very dynamic and challenging, and so it's probably the hardest one for students, and so it takes the most out of me, my energy and dedication and office hours and mentoring the students. And but I enjoy all of them. They're all very fun and entertaining.
That's awesome. They sound very fun. Very, very fun. And now, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I would typically have classes that I teach in the mornings or afternoons, depending on the day. And I like to maintain 2 days of the week as my busy days. Which is typically when I host office hours for quite a bit of time. And so I basically, if I'm doing a Tuesday, Thursday, my schedule is pretty busy from early in the morning up until 5 or 6 o'clock. It varies between meeting students, teaching, grading, following up with students on mentoring or their project status, developing my own research. I am working on my PhD at the moment, and I have to spend some time focusing on my own research. And then the other days, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I typically teach one class, and I like to keep it more relaxed, more quiet, and I can focus on writing, and it's a less distracting day, but you never know how it's going to go.
Right.
You think that some days are going to be quiet and they end up being really busy.
Oh, yep. I know how that goes. They can get pretty busy pretty quick. But now, my next question for you, what type of genre do you typically rely on the most when you're writing in the workplace?
Well, I mean, you have short emails with students. You have technical writing working on, right? A lot of very, very abstract level of writing with focus on typically cybersecurity, avionics systems, publications. So very formal writing. And then if I'm participating in a committee, I'm also part of the nominations and elections committee. And if we are getting ready to prepare a vote for the Senate or for the faculty members, the type of writing is more encouraging oriented. And so it depends on the day, but it's a variety of research, short messages, faculty, blast communications, and it depends on the day.
Oh, okay. So you have a lot of variety, kind of keeping it on your toes and everything like that. And now my next question for you, have you noticed any big similarities or differences between writing you did as a student at Embry-Riddle and writing you're doing as a faculty member at Embry-Riddle?
I am confident. I am confident today, very, very confident. When you're a student, it doesn't matter if you're at Embry-Riddle or at any university. The main concern is, am I writing something that makes sense for people to understand? And, I think when you're a student, you just write because you have to write something. And as you get older, your writing is more geared towards your audience. So I'm very conscious and self-aware of how others are going to be reading my paper. And so confident, but reassuring that what I'm saying makes sense.
Okay. Confidence is always a good thing to have, especially in your writing. And then for my last question for you today, do you have any advice that you'd like to give our current Eagles?
Keep going to school, keep being a student, enjoy it because it only happens once in a lifetime. Life outside of university can be intimidating because going to work, going to industry is not going to school, right? It's very different. And so I like to encourage all of the students to be brave and go get a job, even if it's an entry-level job. That will be your baseline to start growing a career. And so do your best while you're in university, but be ready to give your best when you go get a real job. And I think that's the key to success.
Okay, yeah. And that is really, really great advice. Any other things you'd like to tell us or anything before we wrap this episode up?
I really like supporting the athletic teams at the university. I'm a big fan. My husband and I go to the games quite often. So we've been to soccer games, basketball games. We still need to check out softball and baseball and volleyball. But I really enjoy it, and somehow the athletes end up becoming my students. so that's really nice, because we enjoy watching the games and supporting the athletic community, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very different, especially when you're living in the mountains and you don't know a lot of people, right?
Right.
So it's really nice to be there for the students.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And I'm sure that they're very happy you're there to support them as well.
Oh, yes. They all say hello when they see me.
Oh, how sweet. And that should wrap up this week's episode of What's the Word Eagle Alumni Spotlight Podcast. We want to give a big shout out and thank you to Rosa for being on with us this week. And if you're a student at Embry-Riddle, be sure to be on the lookout at all these sports events and say hi to Professor Rosa. We hope you liked this episode and stay tuned for more.
This podcast is supported by the Department of Humanities and Communication at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. Abigail Bradbury is our host, Matthew Haslam is our department chair, and I'm Amelia Chesley, Assistant Professor of Professional Writing. The intro and outro music is Wander by Alex. Find us on Spotify or on YouTube, and reach out if you are a Prescott campus alum. We'd love to feature you in a future episode.